Hello, dear student. Welcome to EPG Pathshala. Today we are going to discuss about water cycle, that is hydrological cycle, and water budget. The learning objective of this module are: what is water cycle, what are the various processes which run the water cycle, what are the various factors which affect the water cycle. Moreover, we will also discuss about water budget. What is water budget? How can we calculate water budget of any area, and what are the various factors which affect the water budget? Now we discuss in detail. Introduction. Water is the basic component of all the living being, including flora and fauna. It is combination of two elements, that is hydrogen and oxygen. So water is called as H2O. We require 3 to 5 liters of water per day, and it is the basis of life and is the foundation for human survival and development. Water is used for various purposes like drinking, washing, bathing, cleaning, cooling, irrigation in industry, and many more. Almost 3/4 of the water withdrawn each year throughout the world is used for irrigation. The remainder is used for industrial processing, energy production, cooling, electric power plants, for domestic and industrial activities. About 97% of water on Earth's surface is saline in nature, mainly contained in seas and ocean, and less than 3% is fresh water. The sources of fresh water on Earth include the precipitation, surface water, that is stream, river, pond, lakes, and groundwater. The figure 1 show the distribution of earth water resources on Earth. From table 1, we can see that ocean consists of maximum water on Earth's surface and fresh water is limited. About 97.3% water is saline in nature and contained in ocean. It cannot be used for domestic purpose, that is for drinking, washing, cooking, and bathing, etc. Moreover, fresh water is also used for irrigation, for industrial activity, and energy production without prior treatment. The fresh water is only 2.7% of total water present on Earth. Out of this 2.7% of fresh water, about 2.03% is restricted to polar ice caps and glacier. 0.61% is present underground, known as groundwater. The remainder fresh water is present in rivers, lakes, ponds, that is 0.1% of total water, and about 0.05% is available as soil moisture, biological water, and atmospheric vapor. Now we will discuss about water cycle, that is hydrological cycle. Like other matter, water is also recycled and it may occur as solid, liquid, and gas. That is, water exists in all three states of matter. Moreover, according to National Research Council, water cycle may be defined as the pathway of water as it moves in its various phases to the atmosphere, to the earth, over and through the land, to the ocean, and back to atmosphere, is known as water cycle. Or in other words, we can say cycling of water from earth's surface to atmosphere, from atmosphere to earth's surface. This cycling of water is known as water cycle. Thus, moving of water on, above, and below the surface of earth is called as water cycle. Figure 2 show the diagram of water cycle, how water enter to atmosphere, how from atmosphere it come back to earth. Various events occur in the process of water cycle are shown in figure 2. The various events which occur in water cycle are evaporation, sublimation, transpiration, precipitation, infiltration, percolation, runoff and subsurface flow. Basically, 4 steps involved in water cycle are evaporation, condensation, precipitation and accumulation. Now, we will discuss one by one these major events. Number 1, evaporation. With the help of solar radiation, ocean and other surface water bodies water get warm up, change into vapor form and enter to atmosphere. This process is known as evaporation. That is, sun is the main power which provides water to water cycle. Number 2, sublimation. It is estimated that small amount of water enter to atmosphere by the process of sublimation. Actually, it is conversion between solid and gaseous phase of matter with no in between liquid phase. That is, directly water in vapor form enter to atmosphere through ice, etc. Transpiration. The water from leaves of plants is released by tiny pores known as stomata through the process of transpiration. Transpiration is the evaporation of water from the stem and surface of leaves of plants in the atmosphere. Precipitation. It is the main source of fresh water supply to the entire world and it may occur in liquid or solid form. The water vapors get condensed and under the influence of gravity, these water droplets in the form of rain fall on the earth's surface. That is falling of rain or in solid form, hail, etc. Some vapor freezes into tiny ice crystal which attract cooled water drops and may fall as hail or snowfall known as freezing rain. Thus, most of the water is returned to the ocean and on land in the form of rain, snow, hail, etc. Next, infiltration and percolation. The water falling on earth's surface add water to rivers, stream and lakes, etc. The water from these water bodies and land seeps to ground known as infiltration. This infiltrated water slowly percolates down from groundwater. Percolation is the downward movement of water from soil and rocks to groundwater. Runoff and subsurface flow. The water that does not infiltrate down to ground and flow under the influence of gravity on Earth's surface is known as runoff. This free flowing water becomes the part of stream, river, lakes, ponds and ultimately falls into the ocean. The groundwater moves within the earth and may seep into river, lake, ocean, but this is a very slow process and known as subsurface flow. That is, water moving below the surface of earth is known as subsurface flow. Now, summary of water cycle. The major source of water on earth are rainfall, surface water and groundwater. However, water cycle, that is hydrological cycle, recycles the earth's precious fresh water supply. That is the main source of fresh water supply on earth. Water returns to the surface of earth in the form of either liquid or solid precipitation, that is hail, ice, snow, etc. About 75% of the precipitation is returned to the atmosphere as vapor through direct evaporation and transpiration from plants during photosynthesis. The remaining 25% of the precipitation is stored in ice caps, drains directly. It drains directly off the land into the lakes, streams, wetland, river and ocean, or infiltrate the soil and underlying rock layers and enter the groundwater system. That is, remaining water slowly infiltrate into the soil and provide water to groundwater. Safe drinking water is utmost requirement and fundamental right of any citizen. However, it is estimated that more than 1 billion people on earth have lack access to safe drinking water. Human activities affecting the water cycle, for example, global warming and climate change, influence the evaporation and precipitation pattern of region due to increase in temperature. Moreover, deforestation also affect the water cycle. Modern agricultural practices use excessive amount of fresh water and generally rely on groundwater. That is the most precious resource for fresh water on earth. The excessive withdrawal of groundwater lowers the water table and may increase the rate of water percolation into deep aquifer. This water may not be available for subsurface flow. Aquifer are the region from where we can extract groundwater. Layer of sand, sediment, etc. which hold the water is known as aquifer. Moreover, deforestation also affects the transpiration rate, which lowers the moisture content of atmosphere at a particular place. Now, we will discuss about water budget. What is the meaning of water budget? The balance between available water and the water under use of a specific region, that is, it is balance between the accessible water, accessible mean easily available, and water under utilization. Moreover, a water budget is like a financial budget. It can be used to track water movement through the water cycle. Here, precipitation is the income and evaporation, transpiration are the expenses. Water budget of the earth as a whole is balanced. However, for an individual area, usually it is not balanced due to various natural as well as human activity. The water budget calculation includes the different mechanism used in water cycle, that is precipitation, evaporation, transpiration, surface and subsurface flow, and affected by various climatic factors. Table 2 depicts the annual water budget of planet Earth. From the table 2, it can be concluded that total evaporation from sea surface is 4,52,500 cubic kilometer, and total precipitation on land and sea surface is 5,25,100 cubic kilometer. Now, general equation to calculate the water budget. It is P minus R minus G minus E minus T equal to delta S, where P stand for precipitation, R stand for surface runoff, G stand for net groundwater flow out of catchment, E stand for evaporation, T stand for transpiration, and delta S is change in storage. All the term in equation have the dimension of volume. Or we can also calculate water budget as water in any given location and time can be accounted as precipitation equal to evapotranspiration plus runoff per plus percolation. That is, water evaporated from earth surface, released by plants by the process of transpiration, runoff into ocean, river, and percolate into groundwater. If we have all these figures, we can calculate the water budget of any particular area. Precipitation is balanced by the return of water from Earth's surface, that is evapotranspiration, to the atmosphere, runoff to fresh surface water body and ocean, and percolation into the soil. Water budget can be established for any area of Earth's surface by calculating the total precipitation input and total of various output. Input mean that is rainfall, output mean use in various form, that is in evaporation, transpiration, surface runoff, percolation, etc. The water balance is defined by the general hydrologic equation, which is basically a statement of law of conservation of mass as applied to water cycle. In its simplest form, this equation reads as inflow equal to outflow plus change in storage. Water balance equation can be assessed for any area and for any period of time. The continuous cycle of evapotranspiration, condensation, and precipitation establish the water budget of the earth. The total volume of water in the hydrological cycle is estimated approximately to be 1384 million kilometers square. Now we will discuss factors which affect the water budget of an area. These are wind, seasons, vegetation, temperature, precipitation, geographical location, that is desert, etc., which have very less rainfall. Winds, which move cloud from one place to another place, affect the rainfall. Season, for example, in India, in monsoon we have maximum rainfall. Vegetation, if we have more vegetation, more forest, it will release more water through the process of transpiration, so we have more rainfall. Temperature, we have more temperature, more evaporation, and all these factors ultimately affect the precipitation of any area. Now we will discuss about water budget of India. As we know, India has 18% population of the world and having only 4% fresh water resources of earth. The reserve of our surface and underground water are approximately 23,840 billion cubic meters and only 10,860 billion cubic meters are required for utilization. There is a great variation in the distribution of water resources in space and time. For example, water is available in adequate amount during monsoon season in India. As the dry season sets in, there is a scarcity of water. Even though India is one of the wettest countries in the world, the accessibility of water to the people with time and space is extremely bumpy. On an average, it receives about 1150 mm, that is millimeter of rainfall annually, which is highest in the world for a country having only 2.5% geographical area of the world. Its distribution is highly uneven. For example, average number of rainy days in year in India is only 40. Consequently, there is a lengthy curse of dry period in a year. Also, the rainfall is as high as 13 meter in some areas of northeast region and as low as 20 centimeter in certain parts of Rajasthan. The irregular circulation of rainfall results in water shortage in several parts of our country. India receives on an average about 4,000 billion cubic meters of rainfall every year. According to an estimate, more than half of this quantity is lost to the atmosphere through evapotranspiration or through deep percolation into groundwater, and only about 1869 billion cubic meter flow in the rivers as surface flow. This is estimated to be the water sources potential of our country. Approximately 690 billion cubic meter of surface water and 432 billion cubic meter of groundwater are available for use per year. According to National Commission on Integrated Water Resource Development, it is expected that the population of India would be 1581 million by the year 2050. That is more pressure on water resources. Keeping in view the increased demand for domestic use, industrial purpose, energy production, etc., and above all for agricultural production, there will be more demand of fresh water. The freshwater resources of country are already under pressure. For example, in year 1951, the per capita availability of fresh water was nearly 3000 meter cube. 3000 meter cube has been declined to 1100 meter cube in 1998, and it projected to be 687 meter cube by the year 2050. The Central Water Commission has enumerated water demand scenario up to the year AD 2050 for different sectors, and it is shown in table 3. For example, for irrigation, we need 910 billion cubic meter water for irrigation only in 2025, and the figure will increase up to 1072 billion cubic meter in year 2050. Likewise, irrigation, drinking we need 73 billion cubic meter water in 2025, and it will be increased to 102 billion cubic meter in 2050. Likewise, these in various sectors, that is industry, energy demand, and other, that is forestry, pisciculture, tourism, navigation, etc., the demand for fresh water will be increased definitely. The table 4 show per capita availability of water in India. For example, in 1951 it was 360 billion cubic 360, and in 2050 it will be 1581. Moreover, table 5 enumerate the water resources of India. For example, in India we have annual precipitation, that is rainfall, is 4000 billion cubic meter. From these available water resources, 1869 billion cubic meter, we are utilizing surface water and groundwater, that is 690 billion cubic meter and 432 billion cubic meter. Presently, we are using 605 billion cubic meter of fresh water, that is from surface and groundwater collectively. Conclusion: water, a marvelous liquid and universal solvent, is basis of life on earth. Besides surface water, groundwater is major source of fresh water throughout the world. Due to human activities, surface and groundwater quality is deteriorating day by day. Besides these anthropogenic activities, some natural contaminants, for example arsenic, fluoride, iron, and salinity, are also affecting the groundwater quality. Due to increase in demand in water for domestic use, industrial as well as agricultural expansion, there is an urgent need to think about water resources seriously. For safe and sound drinking water, it is necessary to generate reliable and precise information about water quality. The control of surface as well as groundwater pollution and treatment of wastewater before discharging are most important components for management of water resources. Above all, reuse and recycle of wastewater, rainwater harvesting, and creating awareness about importance of water resources are very important issues. Hope this module will be beneficial for you to study about water resources, to study about water cycle and how can we calculate water budget of any place. Thank you, dear students.